Hey guys, it's another Sunday Night Live of Into the Toy Box. We've got a great show for you guys tonight. I hope you're ready. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring out our co-host, Beta Ray Bob, so we can get this show started.
Hello, everybody.
Hey Bob, you
Hello,
doing all
Brian.
right?
Yeah, doing good. Doing good. It's been a nice weekend.
Yes. Well, you ready for the show?
Oh yes, I've been ready all week.
That's right. All right. Well, the road to Joe Fest definitely starts here tonight. Over the next month, we're going to be talking about Joe Fest especially, and so we've got a great guest on for you tonight, and we're going to go ahead and bring him out. So please welcome Bill from Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, you doing all right tonight?
Hey, doing good. Yeah.
Good deal. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for doing the show. I appreciate it. We both do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we've been kind of waiting for this.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk Eagle Force. Everybody always wants to talk Monster Force, which I'm sure we'll do for a little bit too. But when you guys mentioned you want to talk Eagle Force stuff, I was pretty excited because, as you guys know, I've been making Eagle Force for a while.
Yeah, we definitely love the Eagle Force for sure.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Bob, I guess you want to just check on the chat since
Yes,
we just
yes.
started up and see who all's
We
here.
got Bjorn here with us,
What's up,
and Ian. How you
Ian?
doing?
Hey, how you doing?
For Sizemore. Howdy.
Hey, Chris. All right.
And we got some more. Okay. I just got to scroll down a bit.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of chit chat in there.
Making Hicks.
Making
More
hits.
welcome.
Yes.
And there was one. Oh, yes. Ian had a question for us. Are we ready for Joe Fest? Yes.
Yeah. This will be my first Joe Fest to go to, so I am
sweet.
super pumped to do this one. I'm excited. So
Jablon's
come
joining us.
along. Hey. All
Brother
right.
David Dunn. Howdy.
Hey, what's up?
Starboy Station.
What's up, Joel? Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear if Joel's right.
And MCR.
MTR, what's up? All right.
And we are caught up. Oh,
okay.
Javelon's got a message here. Hi, Bill.
Hey, hello.
And also Ian.
Yeah.
Glad to see you.
Exactly. So let me just pull up this. So yeah, we like Eagle Force figures. So I have a question, Bill. So I guess how long were you? I guess were you a big action figure fan?
Yeah. I mean, I've been collecting toys since I was a kid. So yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of action figures, comic books, all sorts of stuff, and that's what sort of drove me to want to make toys. And that journey now started about 10 years ago now. So yeah, it's been awesome.
That is awesome. So I love the name Fresh Monkey Fiction. I think it's pretty unique.
Mm-hmm.
So I it's like that's awesome name for it.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Let me see. Okay, so you're doing the 4-inch, of course, Eagle Force figures, and then I guess are you a year into the Operation Monster Force yet?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on for quite some time. They've been out for almost a year. So yeah, we're moving into doing 6-inch stuff as well. We've been doing 6-inch with our Naughty or Nice line for a few years.
That's right.
And then we got into doing 6-inch, with that, and then into Operation Monster Force. But I have still been doing the 4-inch stuff, and will want to continue to do the 4-inch stuff. So we're playing around on a lot of different scales for sure.
Gotcha. So I thought we'd touch base with I was telling you off stage that a cool figure is cool no matter the scale. And so when I saw this one, I was like, man, this will be an instant buy for me. I mean, how could you not get this one? I mean, this is super awesome.
I mean, I mean, yeah, this has kind of always been something. This Fresh Monkey line is always with the name of the company has always been something I've wanted to do since the beginning. And so we decided to pre-order this year, and we didn't know how well. I'm like, does anybody want this stuff? But this is how things always start. It goes with, I'm going to make this. I don't know if anybody wants it, but I'm going to try to put it out there. And I'm always pleasantly surprised when people like the things that we make. So this was no exception, and we got a really good response for it. And we just debuted our next figure at Toylanta, the design for that one too. So there'll be more to come on this for sure.
Right. Yeah. So a buddy of mine, he's been hounding me all week about this question. So I guess the season 2 Monster Force figures, are they getting close?
Yeah, they're close. We just resolicited a bunch of images of the figures at Big Bad. So they're supposed to wrap up production over the next month and then get on the boat. The tariff thing sort of slowed some things down for us for a little bit. And hopefully things will continue to move in the direction that it's going, maybe even further down, I hope. Yeah, the plan is to get them on the boat in a month and then get them out at Big Bad. So they'll come in sometime in the summer months, depending on how long things take to ship and those kind of things.
Right.
But yeah, we're super close because the images you're seeing are pretty much production samples of stuff that they're getting worked on right now. So I don't think we're going to have any. We're not going to have any for Joe Fest, I don't think, because it's a month away.
Right.
But we'll probably have them about a month after that or so.
Okay. Yeah. He, like I said, he's been hounding me. He's like, hey, I need to find out, man. It's like I need to get them. I'm like, well, it's like you'll get them when you get them. It's like that's
we also did a huge reorder of season 1, which sort of slowed us down a little bit with wave 2 because the factory had to do the reorder and season 1. So the reorder of season 1 that was going to come in first, and then 2 will come in. But we, that line. We made a lot of those things, but they sold out and they did really well. And so Joel at Big Bad Toy Store wanted to do more. So we reordered season 1. So if you've got those on pre-order, those will also come in around the summer too as well.
Nice. Yeah. I got this guy.
The Delta Red.
Previously, I guess after the first ones came out. And so I like vampires and stuff like that, and a vampire army builder, is pretty cool. And so anyway, but all right, Eric. So there's your answer. Okay, so they'll be here when he said. All right. Okay. So all right. Before we get into this figure, Bob and I were basically wanting to sort of go over like our. It was hard to. We want to show like our top 3 Eagle Force figures that have been released, and so we were talking about it, and it was like it's hard to just pick 3, but it's just. Bob said, "Well, it's just like picking your favorite child." I'm like, "No, it's not exactly like that," but I mean, it's. But yeah. So, Bob, do you want to go with your 3 first, or do you want me to show mine?
Yeah. No, I'll start. Whoops, I'll start it up. Whoops, hang on, let me pick that.
Let me take this off for a second.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So number 1 is an easy pick for me. The hidden, especially hidden blue.
Let me do this. There we go. Yeah.
Yep. Number 2 is another.
Show the first one again, Bob, because I pulled you off the camera.
All right. Yeah. Hidden blue.
Yeah, that one.
Although all the hidden are great, but
that was pretty nice.
The blue one is a particular favorite. Then we got hang on. When I dropped him, his helmet popped a little loose there. There we go. Joe Brody.
Yes. Nice.
Leader of the Agents of the Impossible, which is a fun.
Yes.
I tried to sneak that in as a whole team, but
I asked him. I said, "Give me 3 figures," and he's like trying to slide in 3 teams. I said, "No, Bob, I need
you got to get the whole team in there." Yeah,
exactly. And so number 3, or what would have been the 3rd team, is Commander Eagle from the Singularity.
Yeah.
I love that he's got also comes with the evil Einstein head and the robot heads for troopers.
Yes.
Very nice. And the magnet feet. Oh, whoops.
Nice. Yeah.
So my three favorites are, and I'm gonna have to go with, I guess, this figure right here, the Major
Nice.
Draconis body with the robot head.
Yeah.
This was the first one I ever bought, so that's the reason why it's a favorite of mine. I just think it's like to me it's like one of the perfect action figures. You know, it's got a great body, and even though it comes with multiple heads, this one is without a doubt my favorite. Because
nice.
not only can you put it on that figure's head. I mean, you can put that figure's head, that head on other multiple figures, and it just, if you want a cool looking robot with one eye, that's it, man, right there. My next one is this one is probably,
Nice.
I love a good bubble helmet, and so these colors I love on this guy. It's basically the Jet Powers body, but a army builder. And I just found out, I think maybe within the past year, that they had glow in the dark hands and stuff. Some painting on there was like glow in the dark, which I didn't know that until I was taking some pictures in the dark. I guess sometime last year, or whatever. And I had some lights going on, and I turned off the lights. I'm like, is that glowing right there? And so that was a cool little Easter egg. I didn't know anything about it.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. And maybe my third favorite is I just love a good henchman. And so this Claw guy is it's great, man. It's like he's like a super good bad guy that you can make a bumbling idiot or whatever, or just a bad guy that's always gonna get beat or whatever. But anyway,
I love it. He's a cannon. You got to have the cannon fodder in there somewhere.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Whenever Bob posts those Claw guys, there's always one of them that's being killed in a crazy way or something, whether either a dino is getting him or something. But
mad science has its risk,
That's right.
That's right. You go with the laws of nature, and it's going to bite you.
But yeah, so those are our three favorites.
That's awesome.
On the line so far. So it's
I don't even know if I could pick three if I had to. That's a hard one. So I'm glad you guys could narrow it down.
Yeah, like I said, the Major Draconis figure I think that's my favorite just because it was my first one. So and Bob is responsible. He's the guy that kept showing them off on his Instagram and everything. And I was like, it was not only would he just show one, but he would show multiples off that he was army building. And I'm like, man, those look pretty cool, man. It's they have berets and goggles and stuff, and they were the troopers
bubble helmets.
And I'm like, dang, those look sharp, and the colors look great, and so
anyway. Speaking of the bubble helmets real quick, we do have a question from the audience here. Starboy's wondering if we can ever get the bubble helmets as a separate accessory.
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe, I don't know. We've done a few accessory packs, and they've done okay. They haven't done great. So we might consider doing something like that. Maybe we've got the jet pack now though. So maybe we could do, a couple of 2-packs or something with those things.
Nice. I will say this. I said it off air, but I said it to everybody that I know and in every toy group, what have you. I love the fact that you give so many accessories, with the figure, especially the multiple hands, because to me, that's lots
of hands.
It's lots of hands. It's I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That may be the greatest accessory ever is the extra hands, just in my opinion, because of the fact that you can show, different kinds of emotion with some of those hands and be expressive. And so for me, it's that's great. So
yeah, we try to pack as much in there as we can. I mean, that's the thing. We understand that these are not cheap, right? So we want to make sure we can put as many things in there as possible, and extra heads and things like that. When appropriate, we try to get in there if we can.
All right. Well, like I said, we definitely appreciate that for sure. I don't know that
always better.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, it's it's a small price to pay to keep an extra box for hands, but I'm willing to do it. Okay, because you know there's a lot of accessories, but anyway.
A little tub just full of baggies full of hands.
I have a tub of hands and stuff and heads, and so that's great.
And Bjorn brings up a good point here that those hands fit other lines too.
Right.
I've used them on some other figures, and
yeah, Hasbro won't do a force hand, so I can almost kind of like fudge it with the open hand. So you know, it's like, well, you know, you got to do what you got to do, you know. So
yeah.
So this figure was basically, I guess, shown off. What was it? Maybe about 3 months ago now, or something like that.
Well, yeah. Let's see. We revealed a bunch of stuff at Joe Fest last year, and then Big Bad Toy Store had their 25th anniversary and was wanting to. We were like, okay, this might be a good opportunity to launch one of those figures as part of that to see sort of what the reception to that would be, and it was very good. So that gave them, you know, sort of the, you know, signal to say, hey, maybe we should, you know, move forward on some of these other Eagle Force things versus kind of maybe doing a crowdfunding thing, which we had kind of traditionally always sort of done and have been doing with a lot of the Fresh Monkey lines over the last few years, whether that was a Kickstarter, whether that was just a crowdfunder I would have on my website, but just like a way for people to get a gauge for what the pre-orders are, and do we want to actually make some of this stuff? So Coco did very well, which is, I think, a combination of a lot of things. I think obviously there's, you know, the fan base is still around for 4-inch stuff, which is fantastic, which I'm very excited about. Yes. This was a figure that had multiple heads and accessories. In fact, I should have gotten you the latest figure image there. I think I sent you the old one when we started. But anyway, yeah. So it did great, and so that gave them the idea of like, hey, let's go ahead and, you know, kind of green light some of these ones we showed at Joe Fest, which is why we haven't put them up for pre-order yet, because we're actually going ahead and making them. So the pre-orders will happen soon, but the ones that I think we're going to cover today are currently in production. So that's great versus traditionally what we've done, which is show figures, do kind of a crowdfunder, and if it makes it, then we make it, and then that takes, you know, considerable amount of time. Now with this and with the confidence behind the pre-orders for that, they wanted to head and move forward with the new wave, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are chomping at the bit to be able to pre-order more figures after previous couple waves came and went, and so yeah, I think there's definitely a 4-inch need for figures. So I think we're ready for that. So I do have one question. I'm not going to put
before you get to that. Sorry to interrupt, but let's go ahead and get to MCR's question here.
Okay. Yeah.
Does Big Bad have any creative input on the?
Now? Well, I mean, I am working now at Big Bad, so I guess the answer is yes. But they've always been hands off in terms of like design. I mean, I think they kind of trust me to kind of do what we need to do. If they have certain ideas, they'll kind of say, hey, you know, have you tried to think about something like this or do that, which is great. But you know, we've got Big Bad Mike now, who is helping us run workshop. And so Mike is there helping with some of the creative stuff too, moving forward. And he's actually been the one that's been really pushing very heavily on the Eagle Force stuff. So a lot of the movement to get Eagle Force kind of going and not doing a crowdfunding really came from Mike.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So my question was, I know that the I guess the release date for this guy was saying on Big Bad it was like third quarter of this year. Is that close to where it's going to come out?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think we're shooting for that. We just got samples of everything in the other day, and there's still some work we have to do on these. But yeah, we're trying, you know, by the end of Q3, early Q4 to get these out. It really just depends on how soon we can kind of get. The hope is we'll have samples of these things at Joe Fest next month. So we'll still be tweaking some things, but the hope is that we'll have those there and continue with some refinement and then get them into production this summer.
Gotcha. Yeah. That would be fantastic news.
So we've
And
got a question here about where is it better to get the figures from? Directly from the Fresh Monkey Fiction side, or directly from Big Bad Toy Store?
It's better to. I mean, it's always better to get them from Big Bad. I get a couple handfuls of stuff for the Fresh Monkey Store, but it's always best to get stuff from them because they're the ones that are. I mean, I'm there now, but they're greenlighting the wave. So the pre-orders that they see are really what is motivating the movement on the line. So getting pre-orders in with them really helps to signal, success. So I will always continue to underscore how important pre-orders are.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So when you see them, pre-order them. That's how we get more figures.
Yeah.
So do that.
Yeah.
So here is the packaging for Major Coco, and this is kind of I think a reveal here for the show, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to give you guys a few things to show. We kind of did a packaging refresh with the World of Eagle Force. So we saw a few figures from what now is branded the World of Eagle Force wave come out last year. And now kind of moving forward, everything is going to have this sort of box design with a comic book page and bio cards and artwork and stuff like that. So we're excited to kind of keep this sort of design and this refresh going. And so this is a work in progress picture of some of the box art we're doing right now.
Gotcha. And so that's
off to the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bob. I was
going to say this piece off to the right is like a little kind of insert background that can be like pulled out and displayed behind the figure if you wanted.
Yeah, it's kind of an insert inside the box that sits there.
Cool.
And this is the back, the very back of it. This is the comic that'll be on the back side of the box.
Yep.
Which you said that potentially we're going to be getting a comic at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What we're doing is we're going to put out kind of like a prestige format comic. So it's going to have it's going to be probably like, I don't know, 40 to 50 pages in there, have a spine on it. And that's going to have things like these comic pages, bios on the characters. There's like an 8-page comic story in there as well. Some behind the scenes stuff, that kind of stuff. And so the idea is that kind of moving forward, what we want to do is put out one of these prestige books. We'll have them at shows because we are starting to do a few more shows this year. I think we're doing like 4 shows. Next one will be Joe Fest, although we won't have the book by that time. But like we're trying to have more stuff at the conventions, as that's now a thing that we're doing. And also we really want the ability for someone to kind of be able to get into the line and then like read the different things of the characters and the stories and the worlds. And especially as the line is moving to the World of Eagle Force, it's not just going to be strictly Eagle Force Returns characters. You have things, like Coco here. We've got Blade Cuts Both Ways, other types of things that are happening within the world. And so we want people to people so far have been really great about embracing a lot of that. So we want to put out more things that go into that so people can better understand how these characters interact, the timelines that they're in, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, we love world building. And so, that seems like that's going to be a great fit for that.
Yep. So it'll be sold on Big Bad Toy Store to answer that question. Yeah, we'll have it for sale there too as well, so you can get it there also.
That's awesome. Okay, here's another one that was released. So I'm trying to remember. Is this one more of a retool, I guess, or?
Yeah, this is as we were kind of relaunching the line, Captain Eagle was obviously one of the characters we did very first up 100 or so figures ago. So we felt like with that, we wanted to bring Captain Eagle back, give him some new parts, some other things that maybe the original one didn't have. He still has kind of the same feel as the original one, but he's got different parts now, like, different legs and the eagle now, the bigger eagle and that type of thing. For folks that, weren't able to track down or want to come into the line now, we felt it was good to kind of include him in sort of this relaunch or rebrand of the line.
Gotcha. All right. Well, so I guess I guess when I guess well, I'll ask this question I guess after we get through with these guys. But so here's the packaging art for him. Um, I know it's kind of hard to see on the screen or whatever, but yeah, it looks great. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of the box art of the box style now versus the previous packaging, just because it's for me, it's like it could be in a plastic bag for all for all I care. I just want to get the figure and open it up, but it's like boxes are easier to stack. I think at some point in time than it's like it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I like
And it gives it
change.
a
I
more
like the change
kind of
from
premium format.
previous packaging. So.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Bob?
Yeah.
I was saying Andy gives it a more kind of premium look,
Yeah.
like a Joy or a Acid Rain or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Here is the next one. And so okay, Blockade. All right. So I guess on some of these figures, like how far, like I guess do you just have in your mind like so many figures, that you're trying to develop, you know what I'm saying? It's like you've got like, just like, just figures and figures and figures that you've already got planned out, that you're just wanting to release. And so
we've probably got, I would say, another 30 at least, kind of developed and designed, some of which we've shown and we haven't released yet,
right.
For various reasons. And again, like this next wave will be really the story of, are we gonna, is the brand still popular enough to kind of keep it going? And like I said, and we saw some really significant sales with Coco, and so if that continues through this next launch, we want to do more and we'll do more. But it is one of those things that, it really depends on pre-sales and what does that look like. Sell-through is good too. The last ones we had sold through pretty quickly, even so, and even with that, traditionally I've been against reissues. We've done a few reissues. We did like 2 or 3 reissues in the last batch, but I've kind of said before that those things were off the table, but Big Bad is really wanting us to do more reissues for things that they saw that were popular. So I think if these do well, we'll probably see a best of wave. That best of wave might have a few different things for those reissues. They may have different packaging, some updated deco. It won't be extreme, but there may be some different things associated with those reissues if we do them. But we'll see how well this wave does, because if it does well, then I think those will probably be on the table. We'll probably do some stuff on social media in terms of voting, which characters would you like to see? Obviously, we're looking at what the sell-throughs were on Big Bad. We do check eBay to kind of see what are the ones that are the most demanded ones that, people are looking for, and should we go and revisit those so people can get them and not have to pay an exorbitant amount of money. Not that we want to kill the collector market, because I think it's important, but we also want to make sure that, the line is accessible. We've done so many figures, over 100 now. So, there's certain characters that people want to see to build out teams and so forth. So I do think reissues actually, again, if this next wave does well, will be back on the table.
That is great news to hear, guys.
Yeah.
Because I know that, it's hard to get all the figures that come out, and so potentially having another shot at them is always a good thing. So if that's the case and you missed them the first time around, you got to pull the trigger on them this time. It's like we can it's like that's you got to do that. I do like the fact. Another fact I like of the line is the fact with the multiple heads. It's like I love being able to build like troopers and stuff, and it's like not only can you potentially like have like one look of a trooper, but it's like there's like usually multiple heads. Hey Will, there's multiple heads to make multiple trooper types, and to me it's like that's. I love that. I love the versatility that you can have different options. I'm always telling people I love the options and stuff, and so you definitely get a lot of options with these figures. So
yeah, like this guy, you get 5 of them, and you got a nice little SWAT squad going.
That's right. Yeah.
Each with their own look.
Yeah, I mean, just look at all the accessories you get with this one guy, and like I said, multiple heads, multiple hands. It's like
multiple
you can
weapons.
Multiple weapons. You can make you can definitely. This is army building right here. So for sure. But yeah, he looks great. And here's the packaging art for him. And like I said, it's I like the boxes. I like the I like how you have the characters on the back. Well, not the back, but I guess is that the character. Well, so is the comic will be on the inside? Is it the inside cover of? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
The comic's on the inside cover of the first the cover of the package, and the back is, I guess, the character, bio and the other figures. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see like the storyline bio in the back and the cross sale, and then the character art will be on the front, and then when you open it. So yeah, we some of the in wave 1 of the World of Eagle Force that we did release a few characters under with like we had Sergeant Brown in there and Ivan and a few other folks. Yeah, they had that kind of packaging to go along with it. So we'll continue with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and next one. Okay. Black Robe. Yeah. So this guy looks pretty cool. What do you think, Bob?
Oh, I'm liking him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that he comes with gloved and ungloved hands, so you get that. That option in there.
Yeah. This character has been kind of on the docket since the first wave, basically the first Kickstarter we did.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been around for a while. This is Black Rope is kind of it's a descendant character, which I really love. When you have characters that had or their relatives had a previous history in Eagle Force. So so this this is one of those characters that I'm finally excited to kind of get released.
Yeah, it looks great. Like I said, I am down for as many figures as I can get. Because it's like I figured out after the last figures that came out, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm gonna have to do the next time. It's like it's just I'm gonna have to have a credit card that's open for me to be able to just slide those pre-orders on, and so that's my plan for the next drop. Let's see. It was
hear about Black Rope.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yeah. And yeah, we're gonna try to limit the waves to around like 8 to 10, what you're seeing here. I don't think we'd exceed that moving forward. We did that for the last batch, and it was a lot for people to take in at once. So we're trying to, like say, okay, between 8 and 10 is what we'll see for some of these drops.
Yeah, that is that's definitely doable. Because do you know how many it was that like dropped last time?
Oh yeah, it was over. Yeah, it was well over like almost over 25 figures. Yeah, so it was a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely something. It had a lot of, I guess, variety. So it's like if you wanted to have a lot of choices, you definitely had your choices to get figures.
Yeah, there were some troop builders in there too, which kind of for me bumped up the numbers. It's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Well, he needs a squad to hang out with,
That's right. Yeah. Let's see here, and there's the comment. Yeah. So for me, it's like I bought a couple figures just for their head, right? Just because I like the head, and I'm like, man, I wonder what it would look like, on this figure, or whatever. Like the Baron von Schiele, his sort of metal head that he had. It's like, the first time I saw it, I was like, that is cool, and I'm like, as soon as I get it, I want to put it on all these other heads to see, how it looks and stuff, because it's like, I like to customize some figures up here and there, and so because you can make different figures out of the ones that are out currently. You just pop and swap some heads here and there, and so it's like you can you can kind of make your own figure too. So that's cool.
So we've got a question here that I've seen a lot in the Facebook groups and online, so we might as well go ahead and address it real quick. Or not real quick, but go ahead and address. So this new wave that we're talking about, any idea on when the pre-order dates will be?
It will go up before Joe Fest. So the next month sometime. We're prepping it now, so expect it to go live before we hit Joe Fest, I think.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
That's why we're showing a lot of stuff now, because we're getting people excited because it's coming up soon.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. People are excited. That's for sure. So let's see here.
Here's an interesting question.
That is kind of a fun question. Yeah.
I think if we probably should have included something like that. I think I think moving forward too, again, if these things sell well, we'll probably see more unique accessories, more unique parts, those kind of things. These have kind of been in the queue for a while, using stuff that we've already kind of had ready to go. So I think the idea is that if we see a good volume on this wave, we'll start to fast track some of the things that we've kind of hinted or shown before. We've had some Monster Force figures that we've shown in the past that we haven't gotten to yet, and other types of things. I think I really want to. We really want to do some females for the line, and we've shown some Goldie Hawk stuff. So I think those are things that I think we'd like to get to as well, just to kind of continue to expand out the universe.
Right. Yeah. That was one of your questions, wasn't it, Bob?
Yes, it was. So thank you. I was going to ask about new accessories and all that now that Big Bad Workshop's involved.
Yeah. So I think that's again, like we're committed to seeing more success out of these lines, as long as and more tooling and more stuff, as long as as long as the sales are good. I mean, I think that's it, right? We're playing into the market. I think it's something that we talked about before we hopped on too. I mean, we are moving to doing some 6-inch stuff, as I said. Like, we're moving pretty heavily into that. Right. But it doesn't mean that 4 inches abandoned, but it will. It is going to be based on sales. I mean, at the end of the day, like anything, we're a company and we have to sell things to make things, and that's just the reality. And it's not for a lack that we don't. We want to make it. It's not that we don't want to make it, but the question is, like, are we going to sell enough to make it? Because even now we're doing very low runs of these figures. These are not mass retail figures. I think everybody knows that. And we appreciate all the fans who are buying this stuff, and it's awesome and the whole thing. But yeah, we want to do more. It's just a question of, can we get enough orders to make it? And I think the good thing for the 4-inch stuff right now, I guess, the things that are in our favor is there's fewer things going on, I think, in that scale, and the fan base is still pretty active and definitely wants more things. So we're hoping we can capture, those fans who are out there who still want to support 4-inch stuff.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I think helps this line out, your World of Eagle Force, is that it's not just Army A versus Army B. You've got like a whole expansive world where not everybody will be into like every figure, but the line has at least a few figures for everybody.
And that's the thing too. We're trying to keep it pretty diverse in terms of the different lines. And so if this is your thing and that's not your thing, that's great. Buy Monster Force characters, or buy Blades Cut Both Ways, or Star Commanders, or Eagle Force Returns, whatever is your thing. Hopefully you find that thing and what that is, and that's great, and that's okay. As a collector myself, I've gotten to the place where I'm not buying every figure in every wave of things. As much as I love Marvel Legends is a great example, I don't buy every figure, and that's also why we're trying to stay away from things like Build-A-Figures and those kind of things, because then I feel like people get kind of trapped into that, and we'd rather not do that. We'd rather offer a lot of diversity. And if you like everything, that's great. That's fantastic. But also, if you're into just space, or you're into sci-fi, or into crazy 80s weird stuff, then, hopefully there's something for you here in a variety of these lines.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. I'm not really I'm building like a kind of a Star Warsy world, kind of behind me and stuff. And so, but I like to add anything that I think will fit that, and so I'll jam some like military figures in here and there, because, if I want to jam them in, I'll jam them in, but
Yeah.
But the more like the Voyagers line, it's like, to me, it's like that was like a perfect fit for me, and for stuff that I was buying, because, they're sort of space figures, you know what I'm saying? And so, and who doesn't love a good Boba helmet? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I love
great.
retro sci-fi. So that was a big pull there. And that's why we were looking for something to do there. And we were like, oh, we can kind of look at some of the Eagle Force lore and bring Wild Bill into this sort of retro sci-fi world. And that's why the story stuff is very important to us, which is why we want to do these like prestige format stuff, so people can really kind of understand some of the story and the lore, because it's without a monthly comic or some kind of web animation or something like that. This is probably the best way for folks to really kind of get in and understand what's going on with the larger world, so to speak.
And when I saw this figure, I was like, well, I guess my world's going to be overran by vampires, because there's definitely going to be these guys on my world, because, I was like, I am here for it, So, definitely was glad to see, this figure. Like I said, I've got the 6-inch figure of him, and so I'm like, man, I wish they would make some of these in 4-inch. And so when I saw this one, I was like, yep, that's like I said, we're gonna have a vampire problem here when these things get released. So
I got the deco, the camo deco on this guy the other day, and it's looking really nice for something that small. It really came out well.
So my buddy that collects the 6-inch, he was asking me, he's like, do you think there's any way that they'll make the one head with the paint, the black paint on the vampire in 6-inch?
The answer to that is probably yes, because we are in the middle of sculpting vampire head packs right now, so we'll probably do a deco like this for one of them for sure.
Okay, so Eric, you heard that from the man himself. So there you go.
So we got a question from the audience here. Since this Delta Red is kind of like basically a troop builder type figure, is it going to have a bigger production run than the others, maybe, or about the same?
We'll see. I mean, again, I think the idea for stuff that has more army build potential, we'll probably do a little more of. But again, the pre-order thing is that's the thing with the pre-orders. Like, Big Bad does not take any money up front for pre-orders. So they're going to look at that sales data and go, okay, this one sold better than this one, and and why, and okay, this one was an army builder, so maybe we should order X many more than this one, and so that data, in terms of how they run their business, is super important, and it's super important for us to understand how many we make, because we don't make these to order necessarily, so we will order some extra, but we don't. The goal is to. We don't want to sit on inventory. I mean, that's right. We want to sell them. I mean, that's the idea.
Yeah.
The goal is to have them in stock for at least a few months after we get them in, for folks that either didn't pre-order or didn't know about stuff. The goal is not to sell out like the day they're released, but sometimes that does happen. So I encourage folks, if you're thinking about this as something that you may want, put an order in.
Yes.
Big Bad allows you to cancel it too later if you want, and you can even cancel after the pre-order's in before you ship it if you'd like. A lot of people don't know that, but like if you get this stuff in and it's in your pile of loot and you decide you don't want it, you can basically return it at that point too. So I would just encourage folks to kind of think about that with this stuff moving forward, because that's going to really help us understand how many more we do here beyond this next wave.
Yeah, so
probably at the same time, people shouldn't go super crazy though, and like you were saying,
No, I
backstage,
mean,
like order 1,000 and then cancel
yeah,
999.
right. Don't do that. Right. Don't do that. They'll flag your account if you do that. But I mean, but if you're serious about wanting it, I would definitely put an order in. So that you can get guaranteed, because the last wave sold. So as much as I tried to emphasize that with everyone, and understandably that was a very big wave, it was kind of like they sold out like super fast. Like they came in and they were gone almost as soon as they came in the door. So with these, I'm encouraging folks to do that, and even with our 6-inch stuff too. They went back and we reordered, like I mentioned, some of our 6-inch stuff. So that was a big reorder that they did.
Yeah.
Because of the sales volume too. So again, I emphasize putting the pre-orders in if it's something that you want and it's something that you want to make sure you get. I would say definitely put it in sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure, guys. It's like the deal now, so it's like definitely pre-order these guys, because if you want them, you got to pre-order them. It's like you're not gonna. Don't take a chance and lose out. Say, I'll just pick them up, when they get here or whatever. You better pre-order them, because this guy right here, he's gonna be super sought after. So I'm just letting you know. I don't think they have any 4-inch versions of vampires right now in any toy line. So it's like this is going to be the one that everybody gets, in my opinion. So just you heard it here.
And
eBay
I just
pricing.
Yeah, I just, we want people to have these. It's not that we don't want people to have them. I mean, we definitely want people to have them, and but also, again, like we don't want to sit on inventory forever either. I mean, the idea is that we want to make enough to obviously meet demand and maybe even exceed that a little bit, and then we want to move on to the next wave. I mean, that's the goal. The goal is to keep moving on to the next wave and getting stuff out there as soon as we can.
Yeah, because I think right now, I think there's 2 figures on Big Bad Toy Store as far as like are in stock for Eagle Force, and it's like it's kind of sparse out there. So it's like, look, if you want some of these figures, that's what you got to do. Before we get to the next slide or whatever, I guess you want to go ahead and answer or talk about or say something about this
one.
Oh yeah. We will have a Eagle Force Joe Fest exclusive. With the tariff stuff, we were kind of unsure, but now that that's sort of moving in a better direction, I won't say that it's over, and I will not say that it's great, because we've been doing stuff with no tariffs forever. So even 30% is not awesome. And it certainly has affected our business in a big way. But we wanted to make sure we had something for the show, and because the tariffs kind of moved to 30%, we're going to fast track that thing and get it shipped, and it should be hopefully shipping to us next week. Awesome. And we'll get in right before the show. So we'll have that, and we'll announce it probably the week before the show of what it is. So if you're going to the show, just make sure that if you're interested in Eagle Force exclusive, make sure you put our booth on your itinerary for the convention.
Yes, for sure.
Your booth is always my first stop on Friday night.
Yeah. We will also have a 6-inch Monster Force exclusive also as well.
Yeah, my buddies hit me up about that one. He's like, I need you to get me that one. I'm like, okay, man. Okay, I'll get it for you. Okay, I'll get it for you. Also, with this figure, just throwing it out there, guys, you can put these heads on any of the other Eagle Force figures heads too. So you can make, you can create different vampires from other of the figures from Eagle Force. So just throwing it out there.
Well, now the tactical vest is still removable too, right?
Oh yeah.
So you can swap up all sorts of gear on these.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I will say this. I do love the fact that it's like I said, you can take off, those vests and stuff like that on the figures. And I like the fact how, it's just easy to customize these figures, and it's like just a little bit goes a long way as far as like if you want to customize one, either swapping heads or moving the vest or something off of one and putting on another figure. It's just, like I said, it's
We're doing like a swap a torso onto a different pair of legs. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, this is the packaging, and I want to say that well, I think this is a little bit different than the 6-inch figure, right?
Yeah, the comic is the same, but yeah, the packaging's it's a little bit different, but it's kind of it's a little it's close to the 6-inch as well. It's they're kind of based on kind of the same overall design. Jenny, who does all of our packaging design for this line, did both, so she kind of just took that and moved it over here.
Like I said, I'm super excited for this figure.
Mhm.
Here's another one that I'm like super excited for too. So I guess, how long has this one ever been previously shown off before?
I think we showed it again last year. We have not done this character in 6-inch yet. So the idea too is that, you'll see characters show up in 4-inch before 6-inch and vice versa too. So, and they may have, again, different costumes or different decos, but they'll still be kind of the same character and stuff. So yeah, the idea is, so this will be the first time the Advocate is made, and we're doing that for the 4-inch line.
Nice. So is that head?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I was going to say, you put a skull head on just about any figure, and that's an instant buy for me. So just FYI for like future ideas.
Is that the same head sculpt as was on the Necromancer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. So that's to me, I like that head sculpt as well, and so I think,
hey, look at that. Yeah. Mike is on. Look, Mike from Big Bad Workshop is on. That's awesome. Oh yeah.
Neat. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. We're just talking about these awesome figures that we can't wait to get. But yeah, that head sculpt there, it's like I'm sure it's like it'll fit well on most figures. Look pretty cool. I know, like Bob's all about heads that look like that and stuff. So I'm sure he'll have a few of those as well.
Oh yeah. Well, plus the 2 extra heads, might as well just get 3 of them and then have each character.
Might as well, right? Might as well. Yeah. I mean, you can change it up the tie a little bit. Put one with the beret on and not. So is that the same type of body as the Forgotten?
Yeah. So they're all based on that kind of suit body. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I got a quick question here from Bjorn. Does the skull head green match the I believe Hellion green?
That is a good question. I don't know if they do or not. I have to go look. Right. We can. Yeah, they probably would end up matching.
I got a picture of the Hellion. Yeah. Let's see here.
And then another quick question of what's going to be the price point?
The price point? Yeah, I mean, we're still working on that. I mean, the tariff thing has certainly affected things. I don't think things are going to go over 30. Right now, we're trying to keep things under 30. Whether we can keep them at the other price point, I don't know yet. We'll see. It's the tariff thing does. If it wasn't for tariffs, they would not go up in price. I'll put it that way. Right. But with tariffs, we have to look at it. We'll probably have to put them up, $1 or $2 more, just because we're having to pay more for that stuff.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, appreciate it.
Will.
Yeah. So he did have a question about. Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
There we go.
I believe it's translucent.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to Sonny. Yeah. So this is a character from the Blade, cuts both ways, and so super cool. And I'm interested in getting more. I love how it's like this wave is basically a couple figures from like each sort of I guess I wouldn't say world, but like your
subline.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
or each
theme. Yeah, we'll we'll have a few more weapons that he's got some nunchucks and some sais he's going to have too in there as well.
Cool.
So we'll bring him there, and then let's see. Yeah, so I think we've got 2 characters from the Blade Cuts Both Ways. And Sonny and Frank were, again, going back to the story thing, like Frank, who was already released, they were Eagle Force, soldiers essentially who were now on the run. So that's kind of the idea here is, again, like all the stories kind of dovetail kind of into each other. So you'll see a lot of this stuff happen as you read the comics and see the stuff on the packaging, where you'll kind of see like, oh, this connection happened with this character, or this character came from this world, and this not world, but this storyline, and moved over to this other storyline.
Yeah, that's a good question right there. Job Long said, "Love the pointing finger and thumbs up. Or any hand gesture that you haven't made yet that you would like to?"
I think there's a lot. There's a lot more that I think we'd like to do. I think we'll, again, as the line continues, we'll definitely get into more gesture stuff. I think
that's
I probably won't do a middle finger. I just so everybody knows that probably not something I'm going to do. I mean, maybe I could be talked into it, but probably won't be something I'll do. But definitely some other gestures would be cool.
Well, I definitely love the thumbs up, and I definitely like the pointing finger. So that's pretty cool too. So
my goal would be to make a Trans Am for this guy to drive around in. That would be my goal. But I don't know. That's tough. Cool. But I would love a 1/18th Trans Am. I think would be pretty awesome. Maybe in the future. Yeah, maybe in the future we'll figure it out. But yeah.
Okay. Well, that would be awesome. I mean, vehicles would definitely be awesome. So just FYI. So let's see here. What is next? Okay, here's the packaging for Sonny. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I don't ever like, other than maybe one time to maybe show off a picture with it. I don't know if I would ever like use it again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be a one-off for sure. But
or like if you did stop motion animation,
or that, you could do that.
But that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, you could do your number one joke like one time, and then you can get done with it. Okay, so I didn't get what was the first guy's name?
We had Warhol.
Yes. So are we doing 4 of these tactical mission ninja troopers?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there'll be more to come for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be more to come for sure.
Right.
So yeah, they'll all get made. So don't. This is gonna maybe change some sales volume, but don't feel like you got to buy this one and repaint it, because we'll get to the other ones as well.
I guess I was like, I didn't get Warhol, so I'll have to try to find him at some point. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get, because I was like, okay, I know who this guy is supposed to be, but it's like, I just didn't think that, we would get, different color to match, the other ninja troopers. So it's like, I'm going to have to get this guy for sure now. He's an instant buy now because of that. So anyway, so because that guy, well, let me ask you this. So he was one of the earlier ones, right?
Yeah, we had, and I think we only had him on Fresh Monkey too. He was like a Fresh Monkey exclusive that we had.
So is this the same type of body style as that one, or?
Yeah, the only difference you'll see with these is deco and weapons.
Okay.
The rest, the whole uniforms will be the same on these.
Well, I love the purple guy, so I'll be buying that one for sure as well. So he's one of
I mean, so the head of the unit is KO. So we'll do, to answer kind of the Splinter question. We'll probably do a KO figure as well, because he heads the idea is like these tactical mission ninja troopers are basically hunting down Frank and Sonny. So they're on the run, and then.
Okay.
From these guys, and then also you've got Savitar and the ninjas on that side too. So you've kind of got this, triangle of, people chasing each other kind of around this in the Blade Cuts Both Ways, as we're trying to discover and learn who killed one of the characters at the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'll this will be a no brainer for me when as soon as he comes up. Yeah. So okay, and speaking of no brainers, okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
this guy.
like yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like I'm not gonna feel bad how many of these I buy, but
Mm.
it's probably gonna be a little bit embarrassing. But man, it's like as soon as I saw this guy, I was like, well, I'll definitely be buying multiple of this guy, and so yeah, it's like, hey,
Yeah, we
as many different claw variations you want to make, I'm down for it, man. It's like I'm definitely I'm excited to get this guy.
That's great.
I love
Yeah, we wanted to do an update because the previous, Claw figure, which we looked at earlier, is sort of more of the retro 70s version of Claw. And then this is sort of the modern day Claw version, who are the bad guys for Liberty Legion. And we released some of the Liberty Legion heroes already, like Black Terror and American Crusader. And then obviously we've got Arrow to come on this one. So yeah, so this is kind of a bad guy to kind of go along with those guys.
Yeah, I'm down with Job along the head with the horns on it is yeah, it's the chef's kiss right there, man. It's like I love that one. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love the one that's on the figure right there, but it's like it's a 1A 1B type of thing for me. It's like I love both of those head sculpts right there.
Well, that hornhead would make a great like squad leader, and then the head that's on there is like your team.
And so
yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Those are two brand new head sculpts, right?
Yeah. So I think the horn one is for sure. The other that helmet head I think was released with Baron von Schill, I think.
Is that the silver head? Oh, okay.
Silver head. It's just got a new deco on it.
Well, I love that. I love that head sculpt anyway. So it's like I'm down with any kind of variation painted on that head sculpt. It's awesome. But yeah, I can't. Like I said, I won't be able to say enough about this. This is a great army builder here. So yeah,
this was going to sell out fast. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like yeah, I don't. Yeah, to me, it's just it's a perfect army builder. So I can't say anything more than that, other than people pre-order if you want him, because.
And I'll give a shout out to Ed Hellman too. So Ed, I don't know if you guys know Ed or not, but he's got his own company.
Devil's Bargain.
Devil's Bargain, yeah. And so he's been helping us kind of design some of the characters too. So he's been working on this too. So he did a lot of some of the designs and continues to do some designs for future stuff. So he did a really nice job putting this together, I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We love Ed. Yeah, this figure looks awesome. And like I said, if you guys want this figure, you best pre-order them, because that's, like I said, that one's going to go fast too. If I'm just speaking honestly. Yes, Ed is. Man.
I'm sure Ed would love it. I hadn't thought about that until right this moment, but I'm sure Ed would love that if we did that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, the Arrow. So another figure from the Liberty Legion. I think like I said, it's like I love all the different figure lines that are coming out of this. I love that there's a little bit for everybody. So.
This guy's going to go great with the other three.
Right.
Yeah. We're excited to fill out the team. Yeah, we're excited to get. I mean, we want to make sure we get at least the teams filled out for some of these core guys as well. So yeah.
So how big were you? Very much of an Eagle Force fan when you were younger? I mean, I know like a huge figure line or anything like that. But
I had all of them. Yeah, I mean, and I've got a few scars from my brother throwing them at me because they're die-cast metal. So no, I was a huge fan of Eagle Force as a kid. I was a fan of G.I. Joe, obviously, but I think what drew me to Eagle Force more than anything, I think, was kind of the Paul Kirshner art, because it was very comic booky. And I, as a comic book fan, really loved that idea just around sort of like it felt, even though they didn't have a comic, they had a comic on the back and they had this sort of comic book art. I kind of was really I gravitated more to that. Yeah, I didn't have all the vehicles. I had all the figures. I never got it's, at Joe Fest last year, somebody had a couple of the playset, not playsets, but they had like a figure and some not accessories, but they had like a little communications kit and other types of things. And I should have got them last year. And it was the only ones I didn't have, and I didn't buy it last year at Joe Fest, and I regret now not buying it because that was the only thing I was missing from my collection. But maybe I'll find some at Joe Fest this year. But yeah.
So is it safe to assume your childhood love for Eagle Force is why you brought it back, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought there was a lot of potential for it there, and then there was this idea of, as much as I am a fan of G.I. Joe, there was this idea in Eagle Force that I was like, what would happen if sort of these characters aged in real time? And that was really kind of the thing that I, once I thought of like that as the core concept, that's when really I got really excited, because I could have like relaunched the gold figures initially, or I could have just said, hey, let's just make these characters but if they were today. And I sort of like this idea of sort of these characters aging in real time, and Captain Eagle now being, in his 80s kind of thing, and then a new character is coming in, and then how do we build that world around it? And as a fan of comics, I love like continuity. I love this idea of, hey, this happened in this time period, and this happened here maybe in World War II, and here's what the 60s and the 80s look like. And it just helped me kind of flesh out that entire world. And then you had Chris Irving, who was writing some books also to go along with that, and other things. And so it just became more real to me, I think, at that point, versus just going, hey, let's just reissue these things as just modern day characters. So that's kind of stuck with the line the whole time, and has brought us to doing other offshoots in the world like Liberty Legion.
That's awesome.
Speaking of Chris Irving, real quick, like I've got his Intel books and the trading cards and all that, and there's some characters in there that we haven't seen yet. Are some of those still part of the 30 that you mentioned earlier? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of other things in there. There's Eagle Force Omega from the 80s. I think there was a question earlier around like a comic book. Although we won't see a comic book, what we're trying to do is these like prestige format comics that we're going to try to do, I think, quarterly, or at least timed with every sort of release. So we're working on one right now for these characters. It won't come out right now, but it'll be out maybe in a few months, where you can order at Big Bad Toy Store, or for an upcoming show, maybe you can pick one up, where they're kind of prestige editions. So like 48 pages. And they have things like basically taking what Chris did in Intel and bringing it kind of into more of a prestige format, where you have things like the comic pages that we just were looking at today. You have character bios. You have like a 6 to 8 page comic story featuring some of the characters from that wave, as well as behind the scenes looking at things, and then maybe some look forwards in terms of things that we kind of are targeting to do. So those things will that'll come together. In fact, I was just editing one of them today, so that'll come together over the next month, and then we'll publish that and release that too.
I think that, I was going to say, Bob, you got a couple of those questions answered. Did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be doing like, it'll be kind of a Big Bad Workshop Presents book. And so every book will have a featured, this first one will feature Eagle Force. The next one might feature Monster Force. Subsequent issues may feature Eagle Force again. It may also feature some other things. And so it's like, there'll be hopefully a quarterly, Big Bad Workshop Presents kind of book that comes out, where you can get things like these comic pages and among other things. And we'll do like an exclusive, probably comic story for that one. That'll be, like I said, anywhere between 8 to 10 pages. And so you'll get kind of all of that, and hopefully be able to put them on your bookshelf along with the figures.
Awesome. Hey, so let's see. There's Eric. All right. So I have a question, because I'm not.
Bjorn?
Yeah.
I know he's got some bad weather heading through his area.
Right. I am not familiar with I guess the Liberty Legion. How many characters, I guess, or team members did they have?
Well, right now, this is it. Like this will complete the. I mean, not that more characters couldn't join,
Right.
obviously. But this will complete the current team right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And okay, so
Oh, this guy.
this guy, yeah, right here. This guy is the one that everybody was like zooming in on pics from last year. It's like, hey,
Year
go back
before
to the one
last.
with the green. Go back to the one with the green. Let me see which ones. Tell me about this figure, And so I couldn't go, and so Bob, he's pretty much been my eyes and ears from the past couple of years of going to Joe Fest, and so yeah, everybody was like, yeah, check out the guy with the green. What's the story right there?
Yeah. This is all Ed as well. Ed, we wanted to bring some kind of other bad guys into Voyagers, and then we had Fish do the art. Fish has done a lot of the artwork we've just looked at today as well, and we'll continue to do some more of the art, for future lines, as long as I book him. He's pretty busy, but if I get on his calendar, he can do stuff, which is great. But this was all Ed wanting to kind of do something fun here because we were looking for kind of some characters to bring in to Voyagers, and we needed another bad guy ish. So yeah.
So I guess you don't have to answer. You can't answer, but it's like, how far, as far as like this Voyagers line, it's like, how far have you kind of like thought out, more characters on this particular line?
It's pretty well thought out. I mean, we'll see the hidden return for Voyagers, like the hidden were, part of sort of Agency of Possible State. That was sort of their Earth-based, and then so you've got these characters that are the hidden will be more space-based. So you'll see some of those guys, featured colors that will show up in Voyagers as well. And then you'll have other members of Wild Bill's team that will probably show up also in terms of the storyline there. I think out of all the lines, it's hard. Like we were talking about earlier about how do you pick your favorite figures?
Right.
How do I pick my favorite Eagle Force brand? It's tough. I'm probably most excited about Voyagers. I think if only because I feel like there's not enough retro sci-fi stuff going on, and I think that's the world I want to live in for a while. That said, we'll continue to have different figures show up under the world of Eagle Force for different brands, but this is the one that I've been working on with Sean, who's the co-creator of some of this stuff, and we're working through some stories, and we've shown some figures in 6-inch for Voyagers as well that we showed a couple years at PowerCon, and we'd like to continue that, although we've kind of put that a little bit on the back burner for right now. But that's the one I think I'm most excited about. I think there's the most opportunity there. I think we've fleshed out a really good story with Eagle Force Returns. We fleshed out a really good story with Operation Monster Force. And this world, I think Blades cuts both ways. We've kind of fleshed out a little bit, and Voyagers is kind of next, I think, as well. So there's more opportunity here for something that I'm more interested in doing, I think, right now. But again, we'll see characters from the different lines all show up, and probably some new lines that I haven't announced yet will also show up as well. Yeah,
that's very exciting. Very exciting.
And someone was asking earlier that bubble helmet. That's like a smoke black or translucent.
Yeah,
black?
It'll be a translucent smoke black, so you'll be able to see through it, but it'll be kind of a darker black on it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I am down for any kind of like I said, spacey figures as well. It's like, just the more the merrier, So, any kind of figures that even look like any kind of aliens or whatever like that. It's like I'm down for any of that stuff. But yeah, this guy, I think everybody was like definitely like talking about from Joe Fest last year was this guy, and everybody's like, yeah, the green guy. The green guy's like that the translucent, really popped with that one, and so that was like, he said, yeah, this is what the figures are, and he sent me like a picture, and I'm like, okay, go back to the green one. Let's do the green one. And so anyway,
closer.
Yeah. Give me a close up of that guy. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah, this is the last figure, right? That's going to be in the current wave, right?
Yeah, the current wave. Yeah, we showed some stuff online. I think we've now shown everything. I think Mike posted, Big Bad Mike posted that this was the last. Was it this one that was the last figure? But it was just for this wave. It's not the last figure of Eagle Force. It's just the last figure for this wave. Because we're as I said, we've got plenty of stuff in the queue that we want to do. It really is going to depend on what the sales are for what the pre-order sales are for this thing. I mean, we as I said, the Coco sales were really good, and that was what kind of gave Big Bad the saying like, hey, let's go ahead and green light this next wave. And so we started production on it, many months ago, even though we haven't solicited yet. So we're trying to look at those numbers and go, if we can stay consistent with some of these numbers, then definitely we'll see future waves, more new parts, getting back to some of the characters that we've shown in the past that we never got around to. And I think that, I think in a perfect world, we'd have at least a couple of waves a year that we'd be putting out, for sure. Yeah.
Well, this wave seems like it's got a bunch of winners in it for sure, and so
I think you got a good wave here.
Yeah, it's a good wave. So I think this wave will do well. And so so here is the comic that's going to be on the back of or the inside cover of the box. And Bob wanted me to add this picture. I think this is going to be this.
Some of the characters that we haven't seen yet in figure form.
Yeah. Oh, Malibu is always showing up. Ed, I don't know how much did Ed pay you to put that photo up. I'm sure it was Ed tries to get Malibu in anytime.
No, that one I just put in as a little Easter egg for him for the episode.
But yeah, these are, again, if you look at the Intel book that Chris has done, and as we see in future, Intels that we'll be making now in more of this prestige format, we'll be seeing some of these characters show up as well. And some we've got planned to make. Some of them we don't have planned yet, but we'd like to. I think the goal is we'll build out probably, more characters in the world than we'll get to making. But I think it'll be exciting for folks to kind of learn about some of these characters and how they fit in the overall scheme of things.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let me just. I think this is okay. That's the last picture on our slide. So
we do have a question here from Jeblong in Toy City. Do you have a favorite, or who's your favorite? Since we picked some favorites, have you got one that you want to say highlight?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite characters would probably be the Face, which we haven't made yet, but I really want to make. I think that's exciting. I think we want to get Dracula. We want to get Dracula in there. I think we've got to get Dracula into the next wave for sure. I think Dracula will definitely be part of the next wave that we'll do. And as far as favorites overall, that's a tough one. It's very hard to pick a favorite character that we've made out of all of them. Yeah, it's hard. I think Captain Eagle will always kind of have a special place because just the fact that we relaunched the line sort of with him. But depending on what we're writing and what we're working on, my favorite could be different every week depending on what we're diving into. Yeah.
I was going to ask a question. So I guess you're a Universal Monster fan, right?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
And a general monster fan in general, I think.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm like, clearly, he's got to be Universal Monster fan because it's like we've gotten almost all of them at this point in time, in the lines in some form or fashion. So it's like, what about, I guess, do you have plans for a Frankenstein character in the 4-inch line?
Yeah, there are plans for a Frankenstein character, but he probably will not be what people are kind of thinking. I think one of the things that we're trying to do with Monster Force 2 is take the things that we love and kind of give it a little bit of a spin that we think is sort of interesting. And I think we've done that with a lot of the characters so far, and we'll kind of continue to probably do that also. And we'll definitely see a Frankenstein figure showing up pretty soon. But again, it may be a little different than what folks are thinking in terms of the story and how the story we're trying to tell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved how you worked werewolves into the Crimson Moon.
Yeah,
Real
again,
nice
doing
thing.
that, and we're doing things like in the 6-inch line, we did a Donner Party,
Yes.
which was, I don't know if you saw that, but it's
Yep.
definitely a riff on sort of the Frankenstein kind of idea, although it's not actually Frankenstein. So
Right.
those are the kind of things that we're trying to look at the things that we love and then look at them and go through a lens of how do we take this thing that people are familiar with and put a little bit of a spin on it to make it, interesting and kind of bring it into the worlds that we're trying to create. And I think we look at that through all the lines. I think everything and all the lines have some kind of root in something that we all probably love. We all grew up probably in similar eras where we collected similar things, and all of the things that we're making, I think, can be traced. Some of them intentionally, and some of them unintentionally, can be traced back to certain roots of things that we really want to explore story-wise. And we're going to continue to kind of do that. I mean, Blade Cuts Both Ways is, definitely a riff on 80s action ninja kind of movies, buddy hero stuff, that kind of thing. Agents of the Impossible is a riff on the 70s sort of stuff that's going on there with those teams. So they all kind of can be traced to sort of that and how we look at them and then go, okay, how do we turn this thing maybe 20 degrees this direction to bring something kind of different and unique to it?
Yeah, like I said, I think that a lot of us are definitely here for that because it's like I love all the different directions that you could go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, that's kind of exciting because it's a fantastic figure line, and so I wish I would have found it a little bit sooner, but I'm in it now, and so I'm excited about what's coming out. So
I'm glad you found it. That's great. I'm glad. Again, that's also why we're trying to relaunch the line a little bit now with the World of Eagle Force to kind of bring new things back, or bring people back in, or bring new people in and bring old people kind of back along for the ride. And hopefully they don't feel like we're retreading too much ground, but opening up stuff for people who maybe weren't here since the beginning.
Right.
Are there any themes we would like to bring back to the World of Eagle? Into the world. That's a good question. I think if I had to touch on anything, it would be sort of maybe 60s spy genre kind of era kind of thing. Like that would be, I think, an interesting thing to kind of explore, which I think would be neat. Probably won't see any fantasy stuff. I will say that probably won't see that too much in the line. That's one of the things that I think I'm not super. I mean, I'm into it, but not to that extent. And I think it would be kind of hard to kind of fold that in. I think we're stretching it a little bit with Voyagers, where we're putting Wild Bill sort of in different galaxy kind of thing. But I think things that are grounded, maybe some kind of magic thing would be interesting to kind of explore as well, I think.
Yeah, I think the whole fantasy thing is kind of almost like how Conan showed up in Marvel Comics, and so it's like, there's you can only do so much with that, it can make some cool stories, but it's like it's hard to explain the whole thing. But
you can only use the time tunnel, space warp thing, trick to merge, so many times.
So big comic fan when you were younger?
Oh yeah, huge comic book fan. So as any of those things in comics I look to and go, and that's also why we're trying to explore like different eras of Eagle Force. Like I would really like to do Eagle Force World War II, which we've kind of established already, but I would like to do figures in that era. Like that would be a huge thing that I would love to do if we could, because it's something that I've always kind of wanted to do. and kind of play around in that World War II era sandbox.
Okay.
And yes, the Soldiers of Fortune line is going to play very nice into that's a 6-inch line that we're developing right now.
Oh yes.
And so yeah.
So I guess have you had I guess the question people might have asked is, would you make you have a question or I'm sorry, I'm running on here. Do you have like an answer, like a no, you won't make everything or you won't make everything in a 4-inch style that you make on a 6-inch style, or is this sort of just depends?
Yeah, I mean, I think that anything's up for grabs. Like I said, I think you'll see some stuff that'll happen in 4-inch before it happens in 6-inch, and vice versa. Again, we are indexing more into 6-inch than we are 4-inch. I'm just going to let everybody know that. I mean, it's just the sales are very different from those things. It doesn't mean that we're abandoning 4-inch, but that's where a lot of the collector market is, and so that's where we have to put a lot of our energy towards. But it doesn't mean that, again, 4-inch is going to go away, but we will see probably more 6-inch stuff than we're going to see 4-inch stuff for sure. And as we're getting into, some licensing things as well, we'll see some licensing things that will show up probably in 6-inch before they would show up in 4-inch.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bob, you got any other questions for?
No, I did a quick check and all my questions have been answered. So
awesome.
Yeah, I think mine have too. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on, Bill.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thanks for having me. That was great. I was super excited.
Yeah, we've kind of been waiting for this for a while, and we're like hoping to get you on, and so we definitely appreciate it. I guess so we did check all that stuff. Okay, all right. So, Bob, you got anything currently you're working on or anything?
No, but just a reminder, tonight at 9:05 p.m. Die Hard 3.75 is going to be on, so check them out. Right.
Yep. Okay, and so I guess is the next show that you're going to be at? I guess is it Joe Fest, right?
Yeah, we'll see you guys at Joe Fest. I'm excited. I'm glad you're going for the first time. That'll be great to see you there. And Bob will see you again. And if anybody else is going, please come by the booth. Mike and I will be at the booth. We have, with the exception of a panel that we're going to be doing, which hopefully you guys will come to that on Saturday. Sure. And yeah, we like to hang out after the show too. So we're around. Come by with questions and other things. And our booth won't be as big as we had last year, but we'll obviously be there. And we'll have, again, like I said, we'll have everything goes according to plan. We'll have the Eagle Force exclusive there if you want to come by. For sure. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been a great stream, and so we will see you guys. Well, I'm not sure if we're going to do next Sunday or not. We'll have to get back with you on that. But anyway, Bill, thank you again. And Bob, thanks for everybody for coming out. Yep. And thanks for people who are watching on the replay. We appreciate that. So if you would just give a like, please, if you get the chance. And definitely. We definitely can't wait to see more of what Fresh does for sure. But anyway, you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.